Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be teaching you Trusted, one of my personal favorites by Mr. Ben Folds. So, we were in the key of, I'll call it D sharp. Now, my theory terminology is not tip-top shape. I don't know whether to call something sharp or flat, depending what key I'm in. So for the sake of this video, every black key is going to be a sharp. Okay? So, we're in D sharp. On the left hand, you're going to want to start with a big fat D sharp. So you're going to make that sound with your pinky on the lowest D sharp here, and your thumb on the top D sharp. That's how he starts the song, with a big pounding. So on the right hand, you've got a D sharp major chord. It's starting on G, so I'm starting with G on my thumb, A sharp on my pointer, D sharp on my ring finger, and G on my pinky to complete it. Now, whatever fingers you use, it's not a requirement to you because I'm not classically trained or anything like that. This is just what I'm comfortable with, so do whatever you're comfortable with. You know, if you like a middle finger instead of ring there, whatever you want. So you've got G, A sharp, D sharp, and G on the right hand. And you're gonna pound this one quarter note, pound this two quarter notes. So now I'm gonna show you this riff. So that riff, well, sorry, let me teach you this riff first. I'll teach you the exact notes. The exact notes are G, G sharp, G, D sharp, A sharp. But the way Ben plays it, the G sharp, and the G, he's doing it octaves. So thumb and pinky I usually do. Now once you get to that second G, G sharp, G, you can leave your thumb and pinky where they are and just hit the D sharp and A sharp here to complete it. So altogether it should be. Now this part, that is basically A sharp over D. The bass guitar is playing D and A sharp, but for the sake of the piano, we're just only going to hit the D because we're going to want our fingers to still be here when we get to these two notes. So we're starting with an F on the right hand, and then D, and then A sharp, and then on your thumb you hit the F again. Now your left hand will be here, so you can finish it off with a D, A sharp. And when you start this triplet riff here, you're going to also hit D in the left hand. That way, when you get here, you can just finish off this D and A sharp. So I'll play these two really slowly. Okay, so all together you should sound like. And then you can repeat it. You don't have to go all the way down here again. I usually stay here because that's where your hand is anyway. This time he jumps up an octave, so move your right hand from this G to this G. And while he's doing this, interestingly enough, he's playing the chord in his left hand too, so you get a very full sounding D sharp. So while you're doing this that I taught you, have your left hand playing this chord in quarter notes. So I've got my pinky on D sharp, my ring on G, my pointer on A sharp, and my thumb on D sharp. So try to keep that going while you're going. I'll play it slow. And then this thing that I taught you before, you can just do it up here. So all together, this whole intro should sound like. Okay, that's the intro. Now we are going to the verse. Now, since we ended here, that's good because the verse starts right in this area with these three notes. So it's a D sharp major again, but on your right hand, you're just hitting G, A sharp, and D sharp. You're gonna want your left hand to play this. Normally I would be doing this, but because your left hand's gonna be jumping down to an A later, you're gonna wanna have it ready to go. So right hand, you've got G, A sharp, D sharp. Left hand, you've got the D sharp. And you can hold this down while playing quarter notes in this hand. So A quarter notes. The next chord, your left hand is jumping to an A. And your right hand, this is cool, you don't have to move it that much. You just have to move the middle interval here from an A sharp to a C. So then you have you have G, C, and D sharp. And that's a cool chord. That's like a F7th with a 5th extension, if you want to know the technicality of it. But you're only doing, So those first two chords are going to sound like this. Now this third chord, don't even move your right hand, just move your left hand down a half step from an A to a G sharp, and that gives you your G sharp major 7th. Same amount of beats, and then you're gonna land back where you started. So all 4 of those are And then you remember when I showed you that triplet thing? You don't have to do that triplet this time. You can just play the chords. And the left hand is doing a D and an A sharp. You can do both hands if you want. So, and hit the chord twice with it. So when you're here, so that would be, I'm playing that right now with a F, an A sharp, a D, and an F, but you can really play it anywhere. You can do it here if you want. Whatever's more comfortable. Okay, so that is the verse. No, that's not the verse. There's another part to it. So we're going to repeat everything we just did. But this time, instead of going back to the root note, you're actually going to move your left hand to an A sharp, and then you're doing a D sharp over A sharp, but G, A sharp, and D sharp is in the right hand. A sharp is in the left. You hit that 4 quarter notes, and then you resolve with your A sharp, which is in this hand it would be a F, A sharp, and D. So it's gonna sound like. If you want to do that little riff, you just move your D up to the D sharp at the end. And I think the bass actually goes. So A sharp, G, but move down because you're gonna go here next. So let's play the verse all the way through. Well, let's just play the second half of the verse all the way through. Looks like you've been reading my diary instead. Okay, now this chorus I really like because it's not a lot of hand movement involved, but it's very powerful chords. So, first one, you're playing a G in the left hand, and on the right hand, it's a D sharp over G, but you're not using all these notes. The only notes you need are A sharp and D sharp. A sharp and D sharp in the right hand, G in the left. And it's not quarter notes this time, it's half notes, so it's. Next chord, leave your right hand right where it is and move your left hand up to a G sharp. And then the third chord, move your left hand up a whole step to an A sharp. So your right hand's not moving for any of those chords, it's staying right where it is. But then we add the D with those 2 notes. It gives you a kind of weird half resolved, half not resolved. And then you do this riff that I showed you up here earlier. So altogether it would sound like. So that's that part. Now the second time around, when we hit this, we're gonna go B on the left hand, and then a G major chord on the right hand. Just G, B, and D. So it's gonna go from here to, and then it's gonna be a C minor 7th. Only hit these chords once. So that's a C, a G, an A sharp, and a D sharp. That gives you your C minor 7th. And then you're going to be doing an F over A. I believe the F starts on A, and then it's C, and then F over A. So that's after this chord. Or maybe it's down here. Either way, just play an F major over A. And then finally, you get to this, which is your A sharp major chord, which you should know at this point. I'm playing it F, A sharp, D, F, but it doesn't really matter where you play it. I'm trying to do it exactly how Ben does it. This is just what I can pick up with my ear, listening to the song. I don't do sheet music or anything like that, so this is to the best of my ability. I'm playing it Ben's way. So let's do that part of the chorus again. G over B, C minor 7th, F over A, A sharp, you can't be trusted, and then it repeats this thing. So, the verse and the chorus are the same the first 2 times around, they repeat, and then I'm going to show you the bridge. So do you remember during the verse the second chord we played, which was that F7th with a... Sorry, that was it. We're going to be doing that, but an octave down. Except the variation we're going to do sounds more full because it's... So you're starting with A, C, D sharp, and G in the right hand. Over A in the left hand. Gives it that nice kind of creepy, diminished feel. Next chord is cool because all you're moving is your A's to G sharps in the left hand and the right hand. The C, the D sharp, and the G stay where they are. So first you've got A, C, D sharp, G, and then you've got G sharp, C, D sharp, G. So those are the first 2. This chord, you got G on the left hand, you got G, A sharp, D sharp, and G on the right hand, which is your D sharp over G that we played earlier. So those are the first 3 chords, and they recycle each other. They repeat and they overlap during the beat, so it's... Play them again. And then we have an F major 7th, F sharp major 7th, I'm sorry. And that is F sharp on the left hand, on the right hand you've got F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and F. And you play that out for 2 beats. I think he does a little jumps up an octave before this next chord, so it'll sound like... That was a fast version. Now the didn't you know, this part is a sharp minor 7th. So the way I like to play this is left hand you've got A sharp, right hand you've got F, G sharp, F, G sharp, C sharp, and if you want you can complete it with an F on the pinky. But I don't think we need that extra F. Didn't you know? He does this little riff, which is just the first 3 intervals of that A sharp minor, which is A sharp, C sharp, and F. So it sounds like, didn't you know? And then we're gonna go down to an F minor 7th. So on the left hand you got F, on the right hand you've got F, G sharp, C, and D sharp. So and then the transition on the bass is a G. And then you've just got a very simple G sharp major, which you play that 2 beats, and then just move your thumb down a half step to make it a major 7th. So altogether it should sound like... I messed up a little bit, but you get the picture. And then you repeat this thing. he doesn't jump up an octave the second time, he just stays where he is. And that's basically the whole song. I will tell you though that the third verse, he doesn't play it up here like we did. He plays it down here. So the same chords I showed you, just down an octave. And then when you get to this part where he's like, that's when I know, he's doing a triplet arpeggiated thing going on here. So it's the chords that I showed you. Let's start with the, so it's G, D sharp, they're playing together on the first downbeat. And then you've got A sharp and G. So if you can do a little triplet exercise with your fingers. And then when we get to this F7th with a, you're gonna keep your G and D sharp where they are, but move the middle notes to C and A. And move your, obviously move this to an A. So it's going from to, and then you can keep these three notes where they are, just move everything down to a G sharp here, left hand and right hand. And then you've got same thing from the first time, but your left hand is, you know, the chord I showed you earlier, the D sharp over A sharp. And then repeats the chorus, and I believe that's all the parts. If you need to rewind, go over some things and piece them together at your own pace, feel free. Thanks for watching. This is actually my first tutorial video, so if you got any pointers and tips on me, if I need to slow down, or if you have any requests for the next song you'd like to learn, shoot me some comments. I'll check them out. Alright, thank you.